Hello, everyone. Sharon Ann Klingler here with your Akashic Tarot reading for the week and lesson. We always try to do a lesson about the tarot as well as the reading. And of course, as I've said before, I get a lot of requests for individual readings, but there are way too many people to be able to do that. So I specifically tell the cards that I want information that all of the people who are going to see this can apply to their life in some way. And since this was Valentine's week, yesterday was Valentine's Day, I thought I would do a question for all of our viewers about relationships. And so I specifically indicated that to the cards while I was shuffling. I talk to the cards. Yes, I do. Okay, you can take me away, but that's all right. Because, of course, Spirit has a hand in this too, and in the cards that show up for us. And so as I talk to the cards, I'm also making a call to the universe and to Spirit and to all of our helpers alike. Anyway, so I wanted to give you a sample of the heart spread because I asked specifically about relationships. Now, this could be love relationships, it could be work relationships, it could be familial relationships, you know, your children, your parents, that type of thing. But here we have an image of the heart spread. And while it doesn't look too much like a heart, you can see it if you imagine an outline right here. There is the heart shape right there. And let me tell you how I laid it down. With the heart spread, I start here, and this is the first card. And then I put the card that it's going to, which of course in most spreads, not all, but in most spreads, left is the past, center is the present, and right is the future. So this is card number 1, card number 2, card number 3. And then card number 4, card number 5, card number 6. So we're putting behind us what's behind us. And I have to tell you, everybody, as you do these spreads, it would be fun for you to make some up for yourself. And also, if you do any one spread in the whole universe, even if you use the old Celtic cross spread from bygone days, make it work for you. Make the readings, make the layout, make the spread work for you, okay? If it tells you to lay out 1, 2, 3, 4 in this order and you feel compelled to put it in a different order, do that. Your spirit is telling you what setup, what structure, what formula works best for you. Don't ever ignore or tell your spirit to shut up, because that's not ever going to take you to a place of absolute trust. So as we do this heart spread, I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you may want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever. You might want to start at the left and do 2 lines that shape like that. It doesn't matter how you do it. You make it up for yourself as long as it resonates with you. This is what resonates with me in the heart center, because I want to, the first card out is what's central right now, what I want to focus on right now. And then I just go in that circular motion for the first card out, and then the second line, this is the first card in the second line. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we have in your Akashic Tarot reading for the week about relationships. Okay, so we will, even though these weren't placed first, we will read them first because, of course, as I said, in this reading, as in many, many others, what is center is what's happening right now. What is to the left is what's already passed, and what is to the future is what's coming. So we're going to take a look at some relationships that you're having right here. And up here, we have the card Wishes Fulfilled, but it's reversed. So that indicates to me that for many of you out there, there's a relationship. The wish is reversed. If you see, there's lots of baskets that are filled with fruit and bread and even money on the table and bottles of wine. And upside down, the baskets fall empty and everything, falls away from our great abundance and our wishes. So since this is the heart spread and a question about relationships, this indicates that there's a relationship, or has been in the recent past, not the 20 years ago past, but in the recent past, to you, where quite literally the basket was empty. You weren't getting from it what you were giving to it. Okay. And this again could be a friend. It could be a business partner where you were supposed to share business events and processes, and you did all the work or whatever. Okay. So, but since it's Valentine's week, it can also very easily be a lover. So in the last several months, there's been somebody that's been very disappointing to you. And it's been hard. You have, right underneath it is the waterfall. And the waterfall is a card of great power, great energy. I mean, you think of the waterfalls, think of Niagara, Niagara Falls, literally electrifies most of the eastern seaboard and Midwest as well. So there you have the power of the waterfall. And, but also water is emotions. So you have been dealing with some of the emotions of this emptiness for a while, but since this is underneath this, you are finding your power to get more strength about dealing with this emptiness, being aware of this emptiness and knowing that you have to respond to this emptiness here. So this is a great card of power. And though there certainly could have been an emotional environment around this experience, you're in, and recently have been in, the process of finding your power. Now we go to the foundation here, the lookout card reversed. You see the man in the crow's nest. His ship has been either struck by lightning or bombed in a war, and he's looking for help. But in the reverse position, he falls out of the crow's nest and indeed falls out completely of the danger situation. Your strength, your power is allowing you to extricate yourself, if not from the relationship itself, from the sense of loss, from the sense of emptiness, and indeed from the sense of not taking the upper hand in the relationship. Very powerful cards here in finding a new way for yourself and back to your power after a relationship has been empty for you. And then we start to take a look, we go up here and are leaving this situation, getting out of the fray, getting out of the battle. Literally, sometimes there could be battles in your relationships, harsh words and hard feelings. But we're getting out of the battle now, and we're coming to our own. And one of the things that's going to help us to move past this and into new relationship discovery is the card that rests on top of this. And this is the central card. This is the card that has perhaps the strongest meaning in this tarot spread for you. And this is the Sangha, the Sanskrit word for community. And this tells me that at this moment in time, as you extricate yourself either from the relationship or from taking second seat in the relationship, you could stay in the relationship. Maybe you have to stay in the relationship because of either finances or it's a work thing or something like that. But even if you have to stay in the relationship, you're getting out, you're putting yourself in a position of not playing second fiddle anymore. You're taking your power back and you're not letting yourself get any kind of abuse anymore. You're standing your rights. But this card now takes us towards the future. This is what we have to focus on today, this week. And we have to recognize that there is a community around us that can help us build and move into greater relationship experience. Now, this community, you might be in your life already. Maybe you belong to a meditation group, a book club, a church group, a study group, a travel club. This can be any and all sorts of communities here. And it could be the community of your family and the community of your friends. But it definitely tells you to take yourself to support you in getting out of the emotional fray of this situation. Start to become more active in your communities, all of your communities. Find the resonance of the people who connect with you at the heart. This is the heart reading, even if it's a mindful connection like a study group. But know and seek out. And if you don't have this right now, it's time to seek this out. Seek out a community, and indeed more than one community, that will bring you the support and allow you to see that there's a far greater world for you out there than is reflected in this relationship. Okay, so, and then we come to the future. Over the next few months, this is the treasure card. You can see, I also call this card the plunder groom. And that's because there are literally two ways you can look at this card. You can see everything that's plundered. And again, once you've been in a relationship where the other person takes a lot or takes advantage or doesn't consider you, you feel as if there's loss there. Even if you're still in the relationship, you're losing yourself. But back behind him is the tiny little treasure chest. It's the only thing in the room that hasn't been overturned or swept up or plundered. And from it, under its lid, streams a little ray of light. This treasure is the real treasure. This is why this card is called the treasure. The light and the power that's inside you. Now you can see either the ending or the moving away or the gathering of your power in this relationship as a loss and get focused on things that have been plundered and lost, or you can see it as your new birth in your light and your power. If you combine the work that you can do in this card to get your power back and not just focus on loss. Don't get lost in the loss. Let yourself connect with your power and connect with the people that support you as you get out of the fray of this empty relationship. And then we come up to this, which I am just delighted to see here, because as we do this work, nothing happens to us in our lives that doesn't require our karmic attention. Nothing happens to us in our lives that doesn't require our karmic attention. Good relationships, bad relationships, positive events, negative events. Absolutely everything is an opportunity to learn. And we can bring our whole selves to an understanding of a movement into greater power, or we can just say, poor me, or I'm so empty, or that relationship, I was expecting it to be better, or now I don't have anyone, or, absolutely everything you've heard in your own mind and other people say forever. Right now, no poor me, great me, wonderful me, divine me. I'm coming to a new time, a new life, a new sense of my power. It's inside me, and no matter how, there might be days where it seems awfully small in comparison to the loss I might have felt. But it's the one that's eternal. It's the one that's boundless love. It's the source of boundless power. And then right here, we say, okay, now I've gotten out of the fray. I've connected with my power. I've even connected with some people in groups here, and I've redefined myself as the power inside me. So what's next? What's next is the setting your course card. This is the card where the first mate and the other seamen are looking at the maps, at the charts, ready to set the course. And there is the captain looking to the horizons and knowing that on top of this power And with our friends and our support groups and the realization that the world is a much broader place than we thought, we can set a new course and look for new beginnings. And this shows us that we are going into a whole new start in relationships. Again, this could be a global thing where you're setting maybe you haven't had a lot of friends lately, and you're going to set up a course where you meet a lot of people and you start to cultivate new and deep and intimate friendships. Or it could be a singular experience of a new lover or a new level of love in an existing partnership. But so there we have the wonderful outcome of this flow of energy moving into the horizons of the future. But I have to tell you, everybody, one of the things that I like to do when I get this card is, you see how the captain is looking at the telescope at the future. And there's no information here. Whenever this card comes up, and if it's in a reading where there's another card here, I will know that the horizon is about this card, but there's no card here. So whenever there's a blank space to where the telescope is pointing, I pull another card to see what are we looking at? What is the captain of our lives, our higher selves, looking at? What are we being told here? And this is the card that I pulled. I never changed the cards, never changed the upturn of the cards, never changed the order of the cards. This is the card I pulled. There he is looking at the man getting on the train, and it's the card that's on track. So this is actually this certainly in and of itself is a card of broadening your horizons and getting on track in your own life in a general way. But since this relationship, this heart spread, it was in answer to a specific questions about relationships this week, we're going to take this to its deeper meaning relative to relationships. On track means you're on track in your own life, but you could meet this new person or your new friends in your regular workaday life in the various different places you go, literally bumping into somebody in Starbucks, or if you join a group, they could be in the group. Anything that you do in your activities that keeps you on track can also be the source of the relationships, both friend and love, that we're looking for. But beyond that, and this is kind of like a secret meaning of this card, I want you to think about if you think about the country that you're in, and you think about the railway lines and all the lines that are crossing the map and connecting and railway lines. Certainly this does mean you could meet somebody traveling. That's a very literal experience. Or at the end of your travels, at your destination. But if you think about all the tracks that are go across your country, and think about how they look, like terminals and maybe even electrical connections, and indeed perhaps even connections through the internet and global connections. Trains were the first Aquarian age connecting device far before electronics came. Trains connected people from one end of a country to the other end of a country. And of course, Aquarius is the time where we create a global community and a collective. So this is the Aquarian cross-hatching of our connectedness. And this also tells me and tells you that you could meet this person on your regular daily travels from morning to afternoon. You can meet this person on an actual trip, or these people on an actual trip, or you can also meet these people or this person, whether you're looking for friends or a lover, through the interconnectedness of the internet and the World Wide Web, to use an older fashioned name for it. So know that This, and indeed, not only does it tell us that you can meet this person or these people there, but it also tells you that this new person or people who are coming can take you on a more global experience of your life, can connect you with others even that have a global outreach. So this is a very, very dynamic experience with this. I was delighted to see it in my own life, and I'm just as pleased as punch to share it with you guys, because something great is coming in some different type of relationship. We have to get over any kind of loss, whether it's a friend or a fight with a parent or something like that. Find our power, start to look ahead, and move along the track of all of these different opportunities to meet these people and broaden our world in relationships. So very exciting. I'm very, very happy to share that with you today. This is your tarot reading for the week. And please, again, thank you all for all your interest. Thank you all for all your comments, your emails. If you'd like to email me, you can contact me at SharonAnnKlingler.com. You can also contact me at my other website, StarbringerAssociates.com. And I invite you to take a look at some of the events that we have going. For those of you that are in LA, I'll be there in March. For those of you in the Cleveland area, this very weekend, the day after tomorrow, as a matter of fact, I will be doing a message gallery with my good friend Lisa Williams. So lots of things happening. Austria in May, a big retreat. Not big in terms, it's big globally, but we're keeping it very small and intimate so that we can connect with the ashram, with the people, with the community that we have known in past lives. So if you want any information about that, go to our websites, my sister Sandra Taylor, mine, Sharon Klingler, and Starbringer Associates. Thank you all for joining me today. We'll have another Facebook reading of the Akashic Tarot. And actually, I believe next week we will be using the Akashic Tarot to meet spirit. So join us next week for that process so you can meet spirit on your own, in your own place, as we connect with spirit through the Akashic Tarot. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful week.